Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about what we can do to improve our credit scores. You may be looking at buying a house sometime soon, going to the bank for a mortgage, getting a lower interest rate on your car payment, or you might just be generally interested in how to increase your credit score or better your credit score if you're not sure, how to do that. If you've just recently gotten a credit card, I mean, all of that we'll kind of cover it right in this video. So what I've done is I'm on FICO and I'm on TransUnion. These are two of the main credit reporting agencies. And we're just going to take a look at how we can improve our credit health, how we can grow it, and I'm also going to be giving some personal insights and tips and tricks that may help you out or that may explain these things a little bit more clearly. So getting a handle on credit scores. So your credit reports and your scores are two different things. Your credit report is a credit history listing the accounts you've opened and closed, your payment history, and the amounts that you've owed. So essentially what this is just a list. Okay, you've opened a credit card on May 19th, 2020. You owe $73 on it. You've also had another credit card September 18th, 2018. You owe $46. It's just a statement of the facts, what it is and what it isn't. And it shows data that may have been used to determine your credit limits and can be used by lenders. Now, credit scores, on the other hand, take that credit report information, so they look at the summary of facts and they turn it into numbers that are usually 3 digits long. So there are many credit scores, and creditors can choose whichever they want to help them evaluate a credit application. So what this means is FICO might have a different score than TransUnion, which might have a different score than something else. But ultimately, it's up to the creditors to choose which score they want to look at. Now, when you're asking for a copy report, it doesn't impact your credit score in the least. Um, in fact, at a minimum, TransUnion believes you should be asking for yours once a year. You can also use apps like Credit Karma, which can kind of just give you a rough range of where your score is. So, how do you get a healthier credit score? Well, start by paying your bills on time, and even if you can't pay them in full, you have to be sure to make the minimum payment. Watch your credit card balances. Now, the reason they say that is creditors assess you risk scores based on how much of your credit card you're using. So, for example, that's called credit card utilization. So, if you have $1,000 credit limit and you're using $900 every month, that's what the balance says. You're utilizing your credit at a 90% rate. That's risky to lenders, because if you're consistently using 90% of your credit card balance, what happens if one month you don't get paid or you lose your job? It's risky to them. I mean, in an optimal situation, you want to be using 15 to 20% of your credit card balance at max. You don't want to mindlessly open new credit card accounts. So it may look irresponsible to creditors. On top of that, your credit age also impacts your credit score. So basically, what your credit age is the average age of all the credit cards that you've opened. So if I open a credit card 5 years ago and a credit card today, my average credit age is 2.5 years. And essentially, what they use that to see is how long you've had credit for, how long you maintain. That's why some parents, push their kids into getting credit cards at 18 so that credit age can really grow. You also want to check off your accounts online, making sure that you're not missing out on any payments. I skipped over alerting bank and card companies when you move because that's pretty self-explanatory. Same with paying off delinquent bills. It's just making sure that you're not missing anything and looking for inaccuracies that can be attributed to, say, identity theft. As for FICO, they say the same thing. Pay your bills on time. And even if you cannot pay the entire bill, at least pay the minimum payment. Paying just your bills on time is 35% of a FICO score calculation. This is massive. Pay them on time if you want to have good credit. Now, reducing the amount of debt that you owe, I was talking about credit utilization or the balance of your debt to available credit. This is 30% here. So, you might pay all your bills on time. You might not have any identity issues. You might be very responsible. You might have your average age might be longer than the average credit card holder, but your score still might be low. And I've found personally that reducing your credit card utilization is often the missing ingredient. You can take your credit score from a 740 to an 800 within a matter of months simply from reducing the amount of balance that you are utilizing, right? So that's really important. Now, as for tips, if you've been managing credit for a short time, don't open a lot of new accounts too rapidly. Again, I was talking about your average account age. So, a rapid account buildup can look risky if you're a new credit user. Reestablish credit history if you've had problems by opening new accounts responsibly and paying them off on time, showing the banks and the lenders that you're now able to manage credit properly. Do your research and rate shopping for a loan within a focused period of time. So, making sure that you're just doing your research, getting the best deal possible, check your credit report. Again, there are free apps, and closing an account does not make the negatives from it go away. So if you've racked up a ton of credit card debt on one account, simply closing the account will not make a difference. I think a lot of people and a lot of YouTubers especially have videos out there where it says, how to rebuild your credit within 2 months, how to fix a 400 score and turn it into an 800 score in 6 months. Now, I question the legitimacy of that. I'm not 100% sure how accurate that is. I personally can't say because I've never had a 400 credit score, but ever since I've had my first credit card, my score has always been 700 plus. And what it does take is it takes discipline, it takes patience, and it takes a little bit of know-how, right? You need to be able to make sure that your utilization is not high, that your bills are getting paid. But ultimately, there is no secret formula. There is no magic that can be done. It's just a matter of time and discipline. If you are disciplined, if you can put in the time, your credit card scores will get better. And ultimately, you will get those lower rates that you're after, those approvals that you want. But what it does take is discipline on your end to make sure that you are, in fact, paying your bills on time and not utilizing your credit card to the max and doing all that other stuff. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, please leave a comment down below and I'll be glad to answer anything as I love helping people out with this kind of stuff. Thank you very much.